Hey everyone, it's Jason and this is your cruise news update, and we have a former crew member that was arrested for assault. 9 cruise ship passengers were injured in a violent storm, and has Carnival Cruise Line gone too far in trying to clean up their image? So cruise story number 1, and we have some wild video coming from the Carnival Panorama. Now, this happened as the ship was leaving Mazatlan, Mexico, and heading to La Paz. Now, if you're not familiar with where this is in the Gulf of California. That is kind of in the Baja region of Mexico. So it wasn't open to the Pacific Ocean, and this was just a thunderstorm. You're seeing a lot of people that are saying this is exactly why I won't cruise during hurricane season. Well, it had nothing to do with a hurricane. It had nothing to do with Hurricane Erin, as many people are playing this out. It was just a pop-up violent thunderstorm. The captain said they experienced 60-mile-an-hour winds where the ship was listing. They didn't say the degree it was listing. Now, if you're not familiar with listing, it's basically when the winds hit the ship and it leans in one direction. Said this happened for about 30 seconds, and then the captain got control over it. That is pretty scary. Now, some of this video, you can see the water was everywhere. There was flooding. There was plates that fell onto the ground. There was 9 cruise ship passengers that were injured, and 2 of them were a little more serious, and they were basically going to have to go to the hospital in La Paz the next day to get further evaluation. Pretty wild stuff here. Have you ever experienced a list on your cruise or a violent thunderstorm? Now, the only thing that I've ever experienced was the NCL Jewel. We had 25-foot seas when we were leaving Miami, Florida, and it was pretty rough, but never a list or ran into a thunderstorm as this. Let me know what you guys think, and remember, this has nothing to do with hurricane season, as that's on the East Coast, and this was just in the Gulf of California. It was a pop-up thunderstorm. So cruise story number 2, and this is some shocking cruise news, as a recently terminated crew member, Shatarika Turman, was arrested for allegedly assaulting a former coworker with a letter opener. So this happened in Fall River, Massachusetts. I know that's not a real big cruise port that you would think of, but this happened on the American Legend by American Cruise Lines. Now, if you're not familiar with American Cruise Lines, they're small, boutique-type cruise ships, 100 passengers, 60 to 70 crew members. So you don't have a lot of people on board. And, for example, a premium balcony for 2 people, $17,000 for that cruise, which was the Northeast Harbors cruise. So somehow she gets on board after she's already been terminated. She goes after a former coworker with this letter opener, and thankfully they only sustained minor forehead injury. Other crew members apparently see what's going on, and they restrained her, held her back, until police showed up. They arrested her, and they absolutely threw the book at her. Multiple charges, multiple felonies. If she's convicted of all felonies, 20 plus years in prison. But I keep going back to, how did someone that was terminated get on that cruise ship? I mean, they obviously know who she is. She was terminated for a reason. She's got some anger and management issues, apparently. And she was able to get on the ship and attack one of her former coworkers. How's that even possible? Now, if I'm someone that's paying $17,000, I'd be a little concerned. Might want to tighten that security up there, American Cruise Lines. Now, have you ever been on one of their ships? Did you enjoy it? I personally, going in the United States, like the Hudson River, the Mississippi River, just doesn't seem appealing to me, at least at my age right now. I would love to try a river cruise in Europe. Have you ever been on any river cruise? And what were your thoughts? And what do you think about this situation? Let me know in the comments. So before I get to cruise story number 3, I would ask that you please like this video and consider subscribing, as it does help the channel grow. If you could do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much. So cruise story number 3, and I think many cruise passengers would agree, Carnival Cruise Lines needs to clean up their image. So from the brawls to the illegal substance, something's got to change with Carnival Cruise Line. But many people are saying they're going way too far with what they're trying to do. So I have seen these videos, and it feels like they're posted almost daily, where someone knocks at their door, security, they have their dog to sniff around, and there's multiple security guards. And they tell the passenger, we received an anonymous tip, and we have to search your cabin. And the thing about this is they go and they search the cabin. You see a video here, going through their stuff. To me, that feels just slimy. And they don't find a thing. Multiple videos posted. It feels, like I said, daily I'm seeing not finding a thing. And what they said is, all they'd have to go down to is the smoking section. Have someone that is in plain clothes, and there would be someone lighting up an illegal substance, and they could catch them there. Happens all the time. That's interesting. Now, these people are saying, hey, I feel targeted in this. They can't tell me anything more about the anonymous source. One passenger said they kind of got into it with another passenger. Said it wasn't a big deal. They walked away. Good for them. But, things can happen. 4,000 plus passengers. I can see it happening. Not a big deal. Half hour later, security knocks at their door, and they had an anonymous source. They had an illegal substance in their cabin. Come on. Seriously? And he said, of course, they didn't find anything. He goes, because I don't do that. And I've never done it. And they felt targeted. So many are saying, hey, I'm going to Norwegian. I'm going to Royal Caribbean. I'm going to MSC. I'm done with Carnival Cruise Line. And I can see that. I really can. I think Carnival has to do maybe a better job at embarkation, really searching the luggage, really having those dogs sniffing the luggage and making sure. And look, if someone's posting online and bragging about having something, I totally understand that. But these people are saying, hey, I'm being searched, nothing, not finding a thing. Personally, I wouldn't want to deal with this. Dogs walking down the hallways, sniffing. I'm on vacation. It feels like you're just, you're out to catch someone. And I get it. They shouldn't be bringing it on cruise ships. But they're wrong a lot. And I wouldn't want to deal with that. Feeling targeted. Or like that other person, anonymous tip because potentially they got into it with another passenger. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments. So ending the video on a fun note, I love this picture right here. I think the crew member that did this, their cabin attendant, what an imagination. I think if I opened my bathroom and saw that, I would just laugh out loud. That would be so fun to see. Have you ever received a really cool towel animal or something like this? Let me know in the comments. So I appreciate you watching. Thank you again for the continued support. And until I talk to you soon, happy cruising.